fellow Toastmasters. Welcome today. For those who work in the agency like me, we are in a hurry. Adrenaline is high because the general conference is taking place. So I really appreciate that you make time to come here. For all of others, also, thank you for coming. Like Maya, like Ines, like Sonia, who even comes from outside. Like Maria Teresa, thank you. We don't see you very often now.
I'm coming more regularly.
So, let's do it very briefly. Announcement number 1, you probably have heard, we have the area conference on the 4th of October that our club is organizing. Registration is slowly picking up. Yes, thank you. We are organizing all the different teams and we are getting help from other clubs, so we don't expect all the team roles of helping the different, the lunch, the registration, etc. to be covered by our club, but if you fancy having an active role, let us know. More details will come in the next days as we finalize the agenda. Next event at the division level is there will be a division conference, the contest at the next level in Budapest. As this is on the 12th of October, I forgot. Yes. And then in November there is a district conference in Frankfurt. If you fancy or if you happen to be there, I think it's on the 15th to 17th of November. So, another A for whoever is counting. I want to now give the floor to our Toastmaster today, Anthony, and start the meeting. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, unfortunately today we don't have any guests. I can see only the Toastmaster members. So, may I take this opportunity to welcome you to our today's meeting. As we have heard from the chair lady, it's a very tight schedule for most of us. You can see there are many activities happening outside here, particularly in the Motuda area. So I think everybody wants a very quick meeting and attend to other activities. So we start off immediately by first I'll introduce the people who have taken various roles to help us conduct our meeting. And as usual, we have, for this meeting, we have one prepared speech. And then after that, we'll have the table topics, and finally, we have the evaluation section. So may I start by introducing the people who have taken up various roles. I'll start by introducing our timekeeper, Toastmaster Sonia. So maybe I'll give you a minute.
That's the general evaluator's job.
Okay, I'll start by introducing the grammarian.
The general evaluator who introduces the team.
Okay, may I introduce the general evaluator first? To introduce our team. May you please come?
Okay, hello Toastmasters. I have the pleasure to be the general evaluator today, and evaluation is a very important part of the meeting, and I cannot do all these by myself. For this reason we have a team, and today's evaluation team will be the following. We have a grammarian, which is Toastmaster Ines. We have an evaluator who will evaluate Yasunora's speech. This will be Toastmaster Lily. Our R counter to count all the unnecessary fillers will be Toastmaster Maya. The time will be taken by Toastmaster Sonia, and we also have a ballot counter. This will be also Toastmaster Sonia.
Okay, yeah.
Or maybe we have someone who volunteers.
Ballot counter?
Ballot
Okay.
counter? Okay. Then we change it. It will be Toastmaster Nina. Yeah, this is today's evaluation team. And with this I hand over to... Yeah, okay. Yes, part of the focus of the grammarian is the word of the day. So please, Toastmaster Ines, tell us your word of the day. Toastmaster?
I have selected a word which we all know. It's in our blood, it's in our paycheck, probably, and that is sustainability. It's the word of the day which can be used in different contexts. I did not have a chance to go to Google or to Wikipedia, but just to give us an idea, it can be used, for example, for to maintain, however, to maintain with progress. It is not really maintaining something to keep it, it's just getting it further in a development process. There are some other issues which you could sort of use in your presentations, etc., and I leave it with this explanation.
Okay, thank you. Last but not least, I'll introduce the table topics master, Toastmaster Suba.
So, fellow Toastmasters, I have prepared 6 questions, and according to the time you said.
No, I just wanted to introduce
okay,
you, then later we'll come to that part of the program. So to start off our program, we have today one prepared speech from Competent Communication Manual number 8. This is a lot of progress for our Toastmaster, for this particular speaker. The person to evaluate the speech is Toastmaster Rire. I'll ask her to stand up and give us the objectives of the project.
The objectives of this project number 8, get comfortable with visual aids, select visual aids that are appropriate for the message and the audience, use visual aids correctly with ease and confidence. The time of the presentation is 5 to 7 minutes.
So, fellow Toastmasters, the speaker today is one of Toastmasters who's been very active lately. I think he's done a project every other meeting. I think we've heard from him. So I think we all need to really give him a loud applause to encourage him to continue to face the communication manual.
Fellow Toastmasters and novices. So today is a relatively small meeting, but I love the small meeting because I don't feel so much stress. So today, especially I saw the faces which I'm really familiar with. So today I'm really relaxed. I begin the picture of my daughters. This is my twin daughters. So when I can see these pictures, I can really feel relaxed. So at the beginning, I want to share these pictures with you. And today, I would like to talk about some gene or genome or genetics. So these 3 kinds of words have the same kind of concept. It's like a gene or genetics. The genome is the blueprint of human beings. So that means the genome creates our feature, our body feature. And our body was designed by genome information. So our hair color, our height, and our weight, and the hair color, eye color, and the skin color, almost everything is defined by the genome information. And some disease, like cancer or brain disease or heart disease, is also caused by the genome information. And also our natural born character, such as negative or positive, or social or introverted, is also affected by genome information. Because our character is a result of our brain behavior. And our brain cell is created by the genome information. And what is a genome or what is a gene? So our body is created, our body consists from the cell, around 50 trillion cells. It's incredibly big number. And each cell has a chromosome. This is a chromosome. We have 23 chromosomes in each cell. And chromosome consists from the DNA. DNA is a double helix or double spiral. Probably you can see this picture in the biology text. And DNA consists from the four we call amino acid: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. The DNA consists from 3 billion of these 4 letters. And allocation of these 4 letters, allocation of 3 billion of these 4 letters create our feature. And part of this allocation is gene. So part of the DNA, part of the allocation of this combination of number is gene. And of course, so mouse also has a genome. Mouse also has 3 billion letters, A, T, Z, C, as well as a human being. And can you imagine the difference between human being and mouse in terms of the genome information? So how much difference the genome information, the 3 billion letters, between mouse and human being? Only the difference between mouse and human being is only 5%. 5%. And difference among human beings, the difference between I and you is less than 0.5%. 0.5%. So only a small difference of genome information creates great diversity. And this is again my twin daughters. They are identical twins. Identical twin means when they, at the beginning of their life, they were one egg. That means they share the completely same genome information, completely same genetic information. So their allocation of the 4 letters, 3 billion 4 letters, is exactly the same. So that's the reason they really look same. Of course, they have the same blueprint as a human being. So at the first 3 weeks after they born, I could not distinguish the difference between them. So at the first week, I have to identify them by wristband. Otherwise, so I cannot forget which I give the milk or which I change the nappy, something like that. But after 3 weeks, I was getting to identify, I was getting to find the difference between them. Now they are 1 year and a half. Now I quickly recognize their difference. Their bone size is different. Their skin color is different. Their body shape is different. I don't know why they are so different, even though they have the same kind of the genetic information. Actually, the research on difference between identical twin is the popular study field of human science. Because identical twin should be the same, but actually they are different. This is a kind of the mystery of the gene. So, I mean, at first they really look same, but they create differences. So they do not follow the fate based on the gene or based on the genome information. Each of them can cultivate their own future, regardless of genome information. So, you Toastmaster appreciate my speech. I appreciate your appreciation very much, and your appreciation makes some change to me. So your attitude makes some change to me, and I may change my life. I may change my fate through the Toastmaster speech. So if you would like to change your fate, or if you would like to make difference in your life, why don't you make a speech in front of us? Thank you.
I think we give him another loud applause for that wonderful speech on our human biology. I think he was able to sustain our curiosity and interest for quite some time, I think for the duration of the speech. So I think I'll give you 1 minute to give some feedback to Yasunari. This is a standard practice after every speech. Fate of science. Fate or science. So that's a very captivating title. Okay, I think we are done. Then we come to another exciting part of our program, the table topics session. And our table topics master today is Toastmaster Sugar. So once again, join me in welcoming Toastmaster Sugar to lead us in the next part of our program.
Toastmasters, since we are a small group today, I would like to first have permission if I can also ask with those to those who have lost. Okay, thank you. So I have a few questions prepared for today, and they are sustainable, I suppose, and they are all in connection to our daily food, hobby, friends, and countries. So my first question goes to Rina. Do you have many friends, Rina? Are they from your country, Austria or elsewhere? And if you visit each other occasionally?
Could you please say
Do you have many friends?
No, the last word, just the last word.
The
Do
last
you visit?
each other occasionally.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guest, I am coming from India, but I left India in 1980 and I started to work in international community. So if you ask me directly, who are your really friends? My answer is, if you really need someone's help. In that, when it comes to that situation, you really realize who is your friend and who is not. Fortunately, dear Lord, thank you, I never was in such a helpless situation that I asked some kind of help. But whenever I need a help, there is always someone to help me, but with a little bit things to fixing my gas or to fixing my electronic things and everything, these are most of the time are Austrians. I occasionally do visit my Indian friends, few of them I know since 34 years. This is a constant friendship. But the new Indian community, I do not know any of them because I do not mingle with them so much. But I would say my friendship is more international because working in international community, international. And most of the time I spend my hobbies with Austrians through my hiking through Toastmastering in international friends, and sometimes through cooking. I cooked a few times, so yeah, it is more or less, it became with time more international, but of course for 34 years ago it was more Indian. Now it is more international.
Thanks, Toastmaster Rina. By the way, Toastmaster Rina is also my colleague who is very helpful to me all the time, although she's very busy, and she's also my hiking friend.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate her help. The second question I have here goes to Ines. Toastmaster Ines, you must have visited many cities by now. Which city you like the most, and please describe briefly about the city.
Hello Toastmasters. Cities I find have different characteristics. And one thing I like about a city in Vienna is that it brings a lot of creativity out of people. Something I noticed is that people, coming back to friends, what people try to do now is to look for friends, and their friends cannot be only human beings, could be also any living creature. So I have noticed that the creativity of the Viennese in the city here, giving the city life, is taking them to new ideas. And one thing I noticed is there is an element of dog sharing, which is a new concept. People in the city have come with the idea that dog sharing can make them happy, in terms of having also a friend. And they are doing something very good for the community and for animals who really need a new house. So what they are doing is they're going to these animal houses, and the animal trying to figure out who has actually some dogs who need to really new people, a new home, and they have starting to share the dogs. Something I think other cities can really learn of, because it helps people to really get out of their loneliness, and they're giving something back to the community.
Thank you, Dr. Very interesting. It never stops learning. We can learn from any city many things. And also for Vienna, we learn a lot. We appreciate so much. My next question goes to Toastmaster Maya. Toastmaster Maya, if you win a lottery, what would you do with that money?
Of course, fellow Toastmasters, I'm playing actually. I have a kind of constant numbers which I always play. So, because there is a joke that a man kind of prays, "Oh Lord, let me win in a lottery," and finally he has the voice in his head saying, "Give me a chance and play at least once." One has to play if one wishes to win in a lottery. Honestly, I do not know. Of course, sometimes I'm dreaming what I would do with that. I have two grown-up children who are not brought up to be money-minded, so the result is that they don't have much money. The elder one is still studying, doing her PhD in Washington. The younger one is working on a film branch, which is not the money-bringing branch. So maybe I would buy them at least a small flat, I don't know. But one thing I know is that the money would not make me and my family happier. That is clear. If after buying, I'm just now using my fantasy, after buying this flat, maybe I should devote the rest of the money to a purpose where I know that makes people happy, and or feed people. Maybe in Africa I would think Namibia would be a good country, or there are enough objects which one could do.
Very interesting. Thank you, Toastmaster Maya. I think I have the same opinion on I never play lottery, but just in case I win a lottery by any chance, I would also do like Maya, help people, needy people wherever in the world. Now my next question goes to Toastmaster Sonia.
Timer.
Toastmaster Sonia, what languages do you speak and which language do you like the most?
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, the language I speak, my mother tongue is Arabic. I learned in the school the English, and here I learned the German. Of course, Arabic is a very, very, very beautiful language, which unfortunately I don't master. And that's why I say I know 3 languages, but I don't master any of them, not even my mother tongue. But I find myself more business-wise on the English side, English language. I find myself more when chatting with the German, and of course among the Arabs we speak Arabic, which I don't know many Arabs here. And most of the time I use, if there is an Arabic person who knows English and German, I use one sentence with the 3 languages. So when I don't find the word, I jump immediately to the... Maybe Rina experienced me in this case, and but I like to learn more of the German. Unfortunately, I was 12 years out of office practice, out of English practice, which means not even a 1 word English I spoke in these 12 years, correct. And when I came back to work for CTBTO, I had to work on my English. Otherwise, I would have loved to continue working on my German. I mean, I passed, not too much said, the proficiency, English, of course English, and German, I had passed the verbal, but with the written, I should have got 60, I got 56. So I didn't pass, I didn't need the certificate. I was keen on more conversation and learning really the language. I would have really loved to work with the German language outside, but my German is not good enough for working. So that's my history, my story with the 3 languages that I know.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia. You have really so many languages, really gifted. The next question goes to Toastmaster Maria Teresa. Toastmaster Maria Teresa, what are the main food in your country, and which specialty you like the most from your country?
Hello, Toastmasters. You're making me hungry. It's lunchtime and we're sitting in a Toastmasters meeting. Well, I guess most people think about America, that's where I'm from, as, you know, fast food nation. Everything quick and quick and quick and quick. But I'll be honest, you don't know anything about American cuisine until you've gone to America and see that it's not just burgers and chips. It's regional cooking, it's ethnic cooking, it's people who cook with a passion for fresh things. I was watching something recently on TV about New York City, where people have, at the top of some of these skyscrapers, beautiful gardens where they're growing herbs and vegetables. And sustainability is coming into play because they say we don't need to go to all of these awful groceries and get the things that are overpriced and not particularly healthy, etc. We're going to grow our own things. So my favorite food, and I hate to say it for all you vegetarians, I shame myself sometimes when we eat too much meat. You know, if everybody would cut down on their consumption of meat, we could save a lot of the forests that are being chopped down for all this kind of stuff to feed the animals. So I'm not encouraging people to eat, but I'll be honest, my absolute favorite meal is a nice, great, big, thick, juicy steak with a baked potato and just a little tiny bit of sour cream and lots of chives or spring onions and I'm back to making myself hungry again. So I think I'd better stop this table topic, otherwise I'm going to go dashing out of here to our cafeteria to fill my face with something that I hope is going to at least give me, the sustenance and the sustainability to continue this afternoon.
Maria Teresa, now you made me also hungry. More questions? Yes. Yeah? Okay, so I have just add up 2 more questions. And I would like to ask this question to Toastmaster Brigitte. Toastmaster Brigitte, do you go to cinemas? What type of cinemas you go? And please describe the last cinema and link it to us, which you visited, if you have.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters. Your question, if I'm going to cinemas, is not the best one for me, because I hardly go to cinemas. Only from time to time, if friends want to see me and say, okay, let's see a film. But just recently, last week or the week before, I met 2 girlfriends from university, and we decided, before we have a drink, we go to the cinema. So we decided to go to the 3rd district, to this new huge cinema, the village cinemas. And on that day they had a film called Monsieur Claude and his daughters. His 4 daughters, yes. Oh. And just by incident, I got a recommendation on this film a few days before from one of my safeguards colleagues. I said, okay, this is really good. I get the recommendation to see this film. My friends want to see it. I said, okay, why not? I hardly go to the cinema, and I only can tell you, you should go and see this film. It's a funny one. It's but there is much more behind. It's not only funny, so you really have to think, and quite a lot of criticism, and you think it over, how people judge others, how people think about different nations, and yeah. So, but for me it was really great. It was the perfect evening, and for sure later on also a drink with my friends. Thank you.
So I must go to cinema soon. I have not been there so long. My question goes to Toastmaster Yasunori. We learned so many things about game today, and I think you being my learning friend, you have also learning game in it. And I would like to ask you, what's your next plan for marathon or something coming soon?
Okay. Actually, I began to run almost 4 years ago. And in Vienna, I joined the 2 full marathons in Vienna City Marathon. As I choose in last month's speech about the running, because running make me really happy. At the first, it's really I'm tired. It's a really painful activity. But finally, marathon is a really happy activity to me. So I will continue to. But I also find some other happy activity. It is a speech in Toastmasters. As the first time, so that speech in the public, it's really painful or really struggle to me. But at that moment, it's kind of really fun to me. So I continue to my running. I also continue to public speaking. Thank you.
Yeah. So I must say Toastmaster Yasunori runs very fast, and it's the same way he's doing his speeches in Toastmaster in the same speech. Thank you. One more question, please. And it goes to our president, Magdalena. Can I?
Yes. It's too.
It's a little
Okay,
fast.
fine.
No,
Alright.
because, yeah. And thank you. I would love to have a question
Please,
next
yeah.
time, but I think now
Okay.
we are already over
Okay,
time.
fine, fine.
So please,
Okay.
next time give me a question.
Okay, so I'll keep it for you next time.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, I mean, it was a very interesting, entertaining session. We had the top of topics from flagship, cities, languages, food, movies, everything. And I think we should clap for her. This is an opportunity to vote for the best table topic discussed. So take a minute. We had Rena on friendship. We had Ines on cities. We had Maya on rotaries. We had Sonia on languages. We had Maria Teresa on food from America. And we had Bridget on movies. So the cap is going out, so you can vote. And this brings us to our evaluation section, and I'll call upon our general evaluator, Toastmaster Bridget, to lead us in the next session. Give her a big applause.
Fellow Toastmasters, you all voted for the best table topic speaker, so then we can continue. In the function of the general evaluator, I would like to start with the evaluation session and ask the evaluator of Yes or No's speech, Toastmaster Lily, to give her evaluation. Sorry.
Fellow Toastmasters, Yasunori, I was very impressed with your preparation for this presentation because I knew in advance that you needed the equipment. Even before I was asked to be the evaluator for your presentation, I knew that you needed to make a presentation. And in case the beamer here in the room wouldn't have worked, I had our club beamer with us, so there was excellent preparation there where you communicated what you needed. I got to the meeting before the scheduled starting time and everything was already turned on, your presentation was already loaded, and quite honestly that is probably one of the most difficult parts of preparing a presentation. And the topic of the project was visual aids. Get comfortable with visual aids. I had the impression that Yasunori was very comfortable with his visual aids. He had prepared very entertaining slides and they were also very clear, and the words that he used, gene, genome, genetics. In his presentation, in the speech, when he used the word genome, I was not quite sure whether that is a classical, usual, normal English usage in that way. And it wasn't really explained, so I still don't really know if we do use genome in the same context as we use gene and genetics. But having the words very clearly on the slide was very, very helpful, definitely fulfilled the criteria of clarity in the visual aids. When he then mentioned the 4 different amino acids that he used in the DNA structure, I thought all of the pictures that he had, all of the graphics were very, very suitable, very, very valuable. The 3 names of the amino acids, I didn't quite understand when he said them. My comment would have been to have the names written, and then I noticed some text going downwards. Perhaps that was actually the name of the amino acids. I didn't catch that until it was too late and I couldn't read it anymore. Also, he used some incredible numbers, 3 billion, 3 trillion, for the number of cells and genes and other aspects. I felt perhaps the numerical values could have also been a little bit more graphically depicted, or at least writing the zeros or telling us the zeros about that. Also in the topic it does recommend getting comfortable with more than one visual aid, and I thought perhaps charts or a card with the numbers might have been helpful to get that across. It was very, very well researched, very interesting, captivating, using photos of his own identical twins, and very moving and very fascinating, and inviting others to research that aspect. I thought very, very interesting. The research also based on the fact that his own children had changed, even though they were genetically identical. Excellent conclusion, surprising, and I thought it was a wonderful preparation, wonderfully presented and concluded presentation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lily, for this excellent evaluation of Yasunore's speech. The next one in a row of the evaluation session will be the R counter. That's the way how it is listed on the program.
But you can do
I
it.
would put the R counter a bit later.
Do it
I
later.
don't know if you can we move it? Okay, we will move the R counter to the very end, and I would prefer to ask our timekeeper, Toastmaster Sonia, to give us the timing report.
Toastmasters on our guests, the timing is as follows. Toastmaster Yasunori, with his speech, 7 minutes. He took 7 minutes 35 seconds. For the table topic session, Toastmaster Rina, 1 minute 40 seconds. Toastmaster Enis, 1 minute 43 seconds. Toastmaster Maya, 1 minute 57 seconds. Toastmaster Sonia, 2 minutes 12 seconds. Toastmaster Marie-Therese, 1 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Brigitte, 2 minutes 8 seconds. And Toastmaster Yasunori, 58 seconds. For the evaluator, Toastmaster Lily, the evaluation should be 3 minutes. Toastmaster Lily had 3 minutes 25 seconds. So we were almost all within the allowed time.
Wonderful. Toastmaster Sonia for this exact time keeping. The next one I would like to ask is our grammarian, Toastmaster Ines, to tell us everything you found, all our mistakes and recommendations, what we could do better. Would you like to come forward, or whatever you prefer?
That's okay.
It's okay.
Fellow Toastmasters, Toastmaster the evaluator. The English proficiency is excellent. I have no real notes on that, and congratulations. I have a couple of issues which I think the first one is Toastmaster Yasunori. Pronunciations. I think it's actually good to have some clear pronunciations from time to time. You're speaking pretty fast because you want to really explain and you want to really help us to understand also the issues you're tabling, but that you're swallowing a number of words, so I was not able to capture actually some of the grammatical issues. In terms of, for example, what you said, which should I, you were talking about your twins, you could not take them, you could not really make the distinction who's whom, and you mentioned which should I give milk. I would actually say to whom should I give milk, rather than for persons you always use the words whom rather than which is normally for things and used in a different setting. Also the word genome, I thought it would be genomics, no? So I really thought that the point Lily made in her evaluation was valid, because I think I also will look it up, what the best, characteristics are for the issues you're putting forward. I think in German it's also genome or genome, or is it also coming from French, for example? So these are things which I'm not so sure of. It's something I have to research myself. The word sustainability has been used 3 times. Congratulations. I have no other issues at the time for the time being. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ines, for your contribution.
And I want to further?
Yes.
I was also curious about the word genome, and I think it does exist in English. I'm checking in internet. The genome is the genetic material of an organism. So the word seems to exist in English according to the web page I'm reading. Yes.
More of a biological name, not codified as an English name.
What I learned is genome is a word I'm really familiar with. That's because I was working in some life science field too.
Yes.
But even it's really familiar with me, but I have to care other person really don't, or whether other person know the words or familiar with the words or not. Thank you.
And last but not least, I would like to ask now not the eye counter, I would like to ask the ballot counter about the results.
Fellow Toastmasters, dear friends, I think we have not only improve our English proficiency and so that Toastmaster Ines does not find any mistakes. Also, when we do table topics, we have got problems to whom to vote. I have got votes for everyone. So, but Toastmaster Sonia beat everyone. So, congratulations. Toastmaster Sonia is our winner.
Congratulations. The ribbon will be handed over later on by our Toastmaster of the day. Yeah, but now, last but not least, I would like to ask our accounter, Toastmaster Maya, to present her results.
Fellow Toastmasters, everybody who has been R counter knows how difficult it is to really count the R's when you are fascinated about the speech, or you really listen, but you don't listen the formal way of speaking, but the content. And I noticed that I sometimes forgot to count, but I got some. Anthony, 4. Brigitte, I think you have the most, but it comes from the way of your speaking. It is a way of delaying, stopping, and it is very difficult to know, should I count this or not? When you explain about R counting, you said R count, Maya is the R count, I can't even say it exactly, because you said she counts the R's and the fillers. But I got for you 6. Let's make 6.
I don't more than 10. No, it's always much more.
Yasumori, I got for you 5. And there I was really fascinated about the content of your speech. I tried to count. There was one broken sentence, but it was in your table topic. You started a sentence and then you cut it and started something else. Rina 1, Ines 3. That's it. That's it. Not too much to do.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Maya. So, I think I did not forget any one of our evaluators. I should also summarize the meeting.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
4:35.
Okay. I don't know if it will take that long. Today we had quite some improvised meeting, I would say. We started a little bit late. This was maybe one of the reasons, because not all roles were filled, and we had to organize in the last minute that some roles were taken over. Maybe in future we could avoid this by motivating all members, all of you, to sign up for roles in advance, so that we have everything filled. But I think, despite of this fact, I think the meeting went quite smoothly. I mean, there were some unplanned changes because I think some of us, I include myself, we did not know exactly how the flow of the meeting should be. But I think it also made it a bit funny, so that it's not so very strict to the point. We were only a small group. We had a great table topic session, which I very much appreciate. So even I always fear to get a table topic question. I very appreciated that you had so many questions prepared, and almost all of us got the question. Yasunori's great speech. I really like to listen to your speeches, because there's always a lot of information packed in your speeches. But no matter what subject you have, there's always fun. There's always a situation, not on one, several situations, where the way how you presented your statements bring us to laugh. So I think this is a talent which I would like to have, because then you can manage to give very dry speeches and still people enjoy it, to listen to you. Yeah, thank you to the team, great evaluations. And with this I would like to hand over to our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you.
Now I found my notes.
Yes.
I said, where are they?
And the winner is. So I invite our chairperson to come and present the award. Oh, okay. I think we all had a wonderful meeting. I think we enjoyed table topics. All the comments have been very positive, and I wouldn't have much to say now because we are running out of time. So I'll hand over to my chairperson to continue the meeting.
When Yasunori started his speech and the topic was clear that it was genomics and the genes, I had to think about, yes, every human being and everything, every being is like a marvel, like a marvel of the creation. And this is the same thought that I have every time I come to the end of a Toastmaster meeting, because at the beginning you don't know what's going to happen. As Brigitte said, there are roles that are not filled, but I was confident that everything was going to fall into place at the last minute, that it was going to work and it was going to be really marvelous. What can I say? Better than George Soros, much better. And apart from everything everybody said, because I endorse what they said, you also have the ability to somehow bring emotions of the audience to your speech and to connect with the audience. This is, I think, one of the hardest things to do also, and you managed. And you have managed, at least in my case, for the last meeting, so congratulations and thank you. I'm looking forward to the next speech. To conclude, as I already mentioned, if you want to have another Toastmaster dose of adrenaline and other experiences, on the 4th of October, Saturday, we'll have the area conference. The details have been sent around. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. And also on the 14th of October, that is our next club meeting. And with this, let's adjourn.